Hey guys, it's WW3 coming back at you with another update on New Zealand with the Week 5 playthrough. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Please like and subscribe to follow for more updates on this playthrough. Hope you guys are enjoying the whole process of being New Zealand and this whole journey. Alright, so in our last video, what we were dealing with was Japan, and we were invading it. Right now you can see that Japan is completely green, meaning that we have completely captured it. We didn't really meet that much resistance fighting them. Once we took out his ships, his airports, and his grounded fighters, he didn't really have much infantry defending his territory. We were able to very easily take over his territory, so that was not too difficult for us to do. So then what we decided to do is to fortify ourselves, start building up for the big coalition of Poland, Israel, and Finland, who now has another ally, Brazil, who I thought was AI, but apparently he has come back. So now the strongest coalition is that coalition of Poland as their leader. They're in first place. We're in second here. There's another coalition, which is Italy, Spain, Cameroon, and South Africa. They are in third, and then Canada is all by himself still. So that's the positioning of the different coalitions right now. So as we were building up after our attack on Japan and recovering from fighting him, South Africa sailed across and attacked Australia here at Perth. It was a surprise attack. We weren't attacking him at all, and Australia was taken off guard. He didn't have many troops, so we had to quickly fly in troops to defend him. We had a whole naval blockade up here. We were destroying troops as he was sailing in troops here, and I had an air force landing here, taking them out. It was a pretty good skirmish. No one really lost that many units. Australia lost a few infantry, but we were able to repel him and defend Australia from being taken over from South Africa. Now in terms of Poland, who is still our greatest enemy, as well as Israel, his ally, who's all the way up to Iran, we've reached a peace agreement with them for right now to not fight, because they want to take out this coalition that controls Western Europe and Western Africa as well as South Africa. And we've agreed that we're going to attack South Africa while they attack Italy and come down. So right now it's a delayed fight. We are going to fight them eventually, but it helps us build up our forces. So right now you can see that South Africa is red, meaning that we're at war with him. All three of us and our coalition are fighting him. We're at war. The plan was that Indonesia was going to bombard his cities down here in Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, and some other cities down here like Durban. And he did, and then he left to take over Ethiopia. And I was going to land troops here, but then I realized he still has airports in his mainland and more inland. And I decided to abort that mission because I knew they'd get torn apart coming in. And that's one thing, guys, that you never want to do, is send in infantry without any support whatsoever, especially if you see that your enemy has airports within his land. He's most likely going to attack you while you're disembarking on the beaches, which is when your troops are the weakest in terms of hit points, especially when they're still in their ships or transport ships. They're very weak. You want to wait until you get some support, such as SAMs or some kind of mobile AA units to defend them. Best case scenario is if you have an airport nearby and you can provide air superiority and take out those fighters or distract them while your guys land on the beaches or crossing borders or anything like that. So that's something you definitely want to do. So because I decided not to attack South Africa down here, I've decided that we're going to attack here in its eastern part. Now Indonesia, he's pushing all the way down. He's fighting Kenya, and Kenya is an AI right now. He's one of the last AI nations. He's building airports, airstrips down in this area so I can have fighters be able to fight anything here. So I'm just waiting on him to do that, to pull off a full invasion on South Africa. I have some units kind of floating out here. I am sanding them already because it's such a long trip from here to there. So I have two motorized infantry units, almost fully upgraded level 6, coming in here, and then I have a SAM unit that's going to land with them at the same time. And that's the idea. Indonesia has a destroyer here who's moving down. He has the ability to have anti-air abilities on his ships, so I'm going to use that as my buffer to fight against him. So these two units are going to land there, and then I have a group of naval units back here just sitting And what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to have them land on Madagascar and establish an air base once they land. I've already done recon here, and when I did recon, I had 2 naval recon planes sitting on top of here, and I forgot about them as I went to bed, and South Africa destroyed my 2 recon planes. But I was able to see what he had before he did that, and he only has 1 infantry unit here, so I know my 3 naval units will easily take this city, and I can take this island from him. And that'll be really good because we have some air bases at this island and down here, and we can start flying in fighters there. I do have a group of fighters sitting right here. Now the problem is, even though it looks close, it's not close enough for me to fly in anything. I need another airstrip down here to be able to reach anything. Right now they can reach right around this curvature of Madagascar, which is not good enough for me. They can barely reach here, which is good for this unit and this unit who's going to land, so that's good. But I need another airstrip to be able to fight here. So what I might do is just have these guys take over here, or Indonesia might take it, build an airstrip, and then I can ferry my fighters here and then there, and then I'm covered. So that's the idea, is to take eastern South Africa, building establishing bases on this side. We got a river that's kind of splitting everything, so you can't just ford it very easily. It's got to need pontoons to cross it, which is honestly better for us. So that's the idea with South Africa. Now, bigger picture, I found out that Brazil, I mentioned this earlier, is now live. He was not playing that often. Now he's a live player, and he has teamed up with the big coalition of Poland and these guys. So that's a threat that's behind me now on my back door, so I have to watch him. I do have a sub here posted, just sitting here. I was going to take Chile, but now he's taking Chile out completely. So I'm going to have to watch his country. I might post a spy here to see what's going on with his units. He's not a very experienced player, but my idea is, over time, as I'm researching, is that I'm going to have the ballistic missile submarines researched. Right now I'm researching the missiles that have the ballistic missile. So the idea is I'm going to research those out and then build a small navy of destroyers, maybe a few corvettes, sail them across, and I want to have a threat just sitting here waiting to strike him. If he does go AI, I might just move them all the way up here to be able to strike Poland, Finland, and Israel from the back. And I want to have something that I can threaten them with and they won't even know about it, and completely take out any big cities of theirs, maybe their capitals, something like that. They can really destroy their economy, their buildings, and anything that they're mobilizing. That's the idea with that. So it's going to take me a while to do that tactic. Now, speaking of research, now the main unit in this game is always motorized infantry. They're good for capturing all cities. I've researched them all the way out almost. I have one more to go, the personal armor, but if you get here, you're in a pretty good spot because they have the mortars so they can range attack, which is really nice. I haven't done anything for the armored units still because I just haven't had a need for them. I probably will do something eventually, but no promises. Support, I'm starting to research a little bit more. I got the mobile artillery and the multiple rocket launcher units. SAMs, of course. I haven't done mobile air vehicles yet. Haven't had to yet. Those are really good for helicopters. They can hit fixed wing aircraft. I haven't needed to do that, so I just have the SAMs researched. Now, the reason why I did both of these units was because my supplies is my highest producing resource. So sometimes the way I play is, depending on what my highest resource is in my economy, I research that unit. Now, for the multiple rocket launcher unit, when you need to make them, they just cost 1,500 resources, which is nothing for me right now with how much I'm making. So that's the reason why I chose to research them, is because I can make a lot of them. Now, if I chose something that did more components, which mobile artillery actually kind of does, it's a combination. It has supplies and components. I can't make those as much. Now, I wanted to make them because they're a little faster than the towed artillery, so I just wanted to have them researched. If you're trying to decide what units to research and you're really stuck, I would look at your resources to see where you're producing the most. And you're either going to have a lot of supplies or a lot of components. Some countries allow you to have both a lot right out of the gate. I am already mobilizing some of these multiple rocket launchers right now. They're going to be like my artillery of the game for when I land on beaches and when I'm crossing borders. They're going to be my support unit. I've made a lot of SAM launchers, so when I'm invading, such as Brazil or Poland, I'm going to have my motorized infantry, who's pretty well leveled up, who already have a ranged attack of mortars, with support of rocket launchers who have a bigger range. And then they're going to have air cover from the SAMs, which would be very nice from any jets. Now, speaking of jets, I have kind of stopped researching. Doesn't mean I'm not going to keep going, but I'm only at level 4 with the Mirage. I'm probably going to go to this one somewhat soon, but like I said earlier about the submarine, I want to get that done and research missiles just like a little bit more. So that's what's going on with that. And then my naval units for surface vessels, I've researched destroyers all the way up till the third one. You can see right here, I'm over 50% with the air defense. That's really critical for the destroyer. So when you guys are at sea, you can use them to defend against any air attacks, which is very crucial. So that is what's going on, guys. That's what my research looks like. That's what our coalition is doing right now. As we're fighting South Africa, I'm also putting forces in Afghanistan. That's some of Indonesia's forces, I believe. Yeah, I got some forces here. I think mine are a little couple down here somewhere. I got some forces up here. And then I'm also building in Saudi Arabia. So what we're doing is we're building troops along the border, not all the way around here. It's a little empty right here, but Iran, Israel, Iraq, a little bit up here. So when we're done fighting, we can quickly respond to Poland if he attacks us or if we decide to attack. And we're going to be a little bit conservative because we're kind of like the small guy in the block. We want to be careful. Indonesia is our strongest ally. He has the biggest military. I'm a very good support country. I have a lot of units that can kind of come in while he's doing a lot of the dirty work and all that kind of stuff. So that is the update for you guys. So far it's going really well. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Comment for anything that you have questions for. I'm enjoying interacting with you guys in the comments. If you choose New Zealand, I really hope this video is helpful to you. Please follow it week by week to see how you can build your country. When I come back at you guys next time, hopefully we'll have half of South Africa at least captured or fully captured, and then we'll see who we're going to be at war with next. Please like and subscribe for more content and to stay up to date. See you guys next time.